Are you angry with your twin flame? Upset with how they're treating you? Does their behaviour trigger your insecurities and your unworthiness wound? Well, your triggers are actually your guides. So we have to start being grateful instead of angry about our triggers, because our triggers are going to teach us what we need to heal. My name is Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. This is the thing. We get so angry with the external. We get so angry with our twin and his behaviour or their behaviour. And, it's constantly like their fault. It's constantly they're the cause of my pain. Why are they doing this? Why do they make me feel this way? But you're supposed to feel this way. Your twin is supposed to trigger you. Your twin has been a part of your defined plan. Your twin has been assigned to trigger the fuck out of you, because we need to be triggered. If you're not triggered, then you have less to heal, I think, because the more you're triggered, the more you have to heal. But what do? We waste time blaming them. We're in separation. We're upset with their behavior or lack of behavior. We're upset with how they're treating us. But literally, if you're insecure or your lack of self-worth is triggered, this is your shit to heal. And this is what's so important. Even outside of the twin flame connection, any time we're triggered, we always blame the external. That person pissed me off. That person is the cause of my pain. That person is the reason I feel like shit, that I feel insecure. No, the reason you feel like shit and insecure is because of how you were treated in the past, not how you're treated now. Your triggers are here to show you what is still buried within. This is the thing. We spend our whole lives burying stuff. We avoid our feelings, we avoid our trauma, and, especially childhood trauma. We don't know we're carrying childhood trauma until we actually start healing. We just don't, it doesn't make sense to us. And even for me, I remember the first time I was introduced to child healing, I was like, I don't, I'm fine. And then I was like, I suffered from anxiety and depression as a teenager. You know what I mean? So early on, I had mental health issues, and I was just like, I never connected it to my childhood, even though my mum left when we were 2, and my dad was an alcoholic. I never said, oh, my childhood was fucked up, so therefore I'm fucked up. I never connected the dots. But because it's because our unconscious mind tries to protect us by building these barriers, building these walls. But these walls of protection are actually burying the pain within us, which is leading to toxicity in a sense. You know what I mean? You're literally putting toxic energy into this little fucking internal system of yours, and the more it builds up, the more it's going to explode in unhealthy ways. So if we're not triggered, it's going to end up like, a trigger is effectively your explosion, your mini explosion, your mini guidance system. You know what I mean? If you're not listening to your triggers, so you're pissed off at, say, your twin flame not replying, or you're in separation and they go ghost. You're upset that, they don't like you. Something wrong with you. Your insecurities bubble to the surface. But why are your insecurities there? They're not there because your twin flame didn't text you back. They're there because of what you've been through in childhood and previous relationships. So instead of blaming your twin flame, who was put here to literally do this for you, you know what I mean? You pre-planned this. I was just thinking about this morning. You and your twin soul, your one soul, you were sitting down with having your herbal soul tea, and you said to each other, here, you have to do it this way, and I have to do it this way. And if we do it this way, separation will be shorter, but it's going to fucking hurt. Right? But we've got to do it this way. And that's effectively what we did. We pre-planned this divine plan and said to each other, we have to do it this way. We have to do it this way. You have to hurt me. And they're not hurting you. They're not actually hurting you. They're showing you the pain that's within you. And that's the thing. You know what I mean? Your twin is not deliberately hurting you. They're not rejecting you. They're not rejecting you. They're just doing their own growth. But they're doing it because it's like literally, it's written on their little binder, their little clipboard. This is the shit I have to do in order for union to happen. The same way, this is the shit I have to go through in order for union to happen. So you asked for this to happen. You asked to be triggered. And I know we don't even understand the word trigger sometimes. Before we start healing, we're like, what's a trigger? What does that mean? It means when you get angry, get upset, get emotional. When You know, and even a trigger can be a happy trigger. Do you know what I mean? You know, something good could happen and you could feel good. That's still a trigger. It's triggering the happy emotions within you. But when it's an emotion, you know, a sadness or an insecurity or an anger that bubbles up inside you towards your twin, ask yourself the question, what is within me that needs to be healed? This is it. Every single trigger, like, you know, triggers don't even have to come from your twin flame. You know, a simple thing of walking into them, stubbing your toe, right? When I'm in an unhealed state, or when I was in an unhealed state, the simple thing of stubbing my toe would make me angry. And I'd be like, oh, in pain for ages. I stubbed my toe yesterday and I was just like, do you know, I laughed at myself. And I was like, Jesus, a few years ago I would have been like, ow, I would have cursed and blinded and fucked all over the place. Jesus, I would have been so angry. But now, and that's the thing. You know, when you're healing, if something like stubbing your toe doesn't make you as angry as it used to, you know you're healing. And like, you know, I find this funny as well. When we're in separation with our twin, if you're constantly chasing, if you're constantly running after them, if you're constantly, you know, seeking outside, and they're not giving you the response you want, then you get insecure, then you get upset, and it's like, oh, my unworthiness is up again. You know, and we heal in layers. Oh my God. You know, and I've said this before, right? I was doing so much healing prior to meeting my twin flame physically. I knew I was a twin flame since 2019. Or remembered I was a twin flame since 2019. And, you know, I had so much work done. And I was like, you know, it's going to be fine. It'll be easy. You know, I had so much of my work already done. And the amount of fucking triggers that came in from day one with my twin flame, you know what I mean? And everyone, because I was already prepared in a sense, I was grateful for every trigger. Don't get me wrong, they were fucking hard and they were shit, but every single one I was like, this is helping me to grow, this is helping me to heal, this is helping me to break down the walls, this is helping me to get closer to union. And you know, I've been through the deepest, darkest depths of, you know, heart awakening, heart purging, dark night of the soul. And every single one of them, I'm not sitting there angry with my twin. I'm sitting there grateful, because I'm like, the bigger the emotion, the bigger the purge, the bigger the release, the bigger the room that's left for more love. And, you know, every time I'm triggered now and I'm like, you know, the unworthiness keeps coming back up, the feeling of unsafety, the feeling of insecurity, the feeling of betrayal, all of this keeps coming back up. But I'm not sitting there going, my twin is after doing this to me. I'm here saying, this is here from my childhood. This is here from my past relationships. This is something I need to heal first. And this is the thing. We have to feel safe within ourselves in order to feel safe externally. So you need to do the work yourself. You have to do the work yourself. You know, so instead of sitting there frustrated and angry with your twin, blaming them for the way you feel, sit there and be grateful. They're helping you to heal. Triggers are your guidance system to heal. And, you know, we keep saying, I've done this, I've done that, I've done so much healing already. You heal in layers. If it comes back up again, it's just the next layer. And you have to start being grateful for this. Because, you know, the way I see it as well, like the amount of purges I've gone through prior to meeting my twin and after meeting my twin, they're actually been deeper. They've been very deep, but every time another big purge comes in, I'm like, what the fuck? How is there still more inside me? But also I'm like, thank fuck, because at least it's getting out of my system. And it's proven to me how deep these wounds are. These wounds are going to even past lives as well. So we're not just healing this life, we're healing past lives as well. So literally every single trigger, you should be saying, thank you. Here's another, you know, I'll go through phases. Like, you know, I could see my twin flame and like, you know, I could go through a little bit of a high and I'd be like, oh my God, everything's going to be okay. And, you know, I'd be up here and I'm like, you know, I've got my healing done. We're ready. And then a couple of weeks go by and I'm like, Jesus, he's not texting. Wonder what's going on. And I was like, you know, the separation's going a bit longer. It's like, oh, what's going on? And it's just like, you know, I asked the angels then, I'm like, tell me what's going on. What do I need to heal? I know he needs to heal this or that, the other. What do I need to heal? How can I reflect that back to me? So I'm using it as a guidance system. And then the shit hits the fan. It literally does. And I'm triggered left, right, and center. It's so funny how I'm triggered. Because when I'm in separation with my twin, I know to give him space. I know to give myself space. So I'll get triggers through some of my thoughts, but I get triggers through some of the things I see online. And I'm like, oh, you know, the stuff will come up, the jealousy wound or the insecurities and the paranoia. It's like, am I fucking wrong? All this kind of shit comes up. And I have to sit back, like, you know, I have to sit back and just say, look, This is showing you what you need to heal. Stop, like, you know, the way I see it as well, right? We create scenarios in our head to that enhances our insecurity. So we can get a notion or an idea or think something and believe it to be true and like, oh my God, he's doing this or he's doing that or they're doing this or they're not doing that or whatever. And we make mountains out of molehills. But the closer we get to union, the more control we have. Because the trigger comes in, you go through the motions, you get angry, you get frustrated, you get upset, and then you talk your way out of it and you say, is this true in the moment? Or is this based on something to do with my past? What is true in your soul? And this is the thing. This is what the battle we have with ourselves, soul versus ego. It's like literally our old thoughts, our old energy, our old insecurities, our old relationships, our childhood trauma all comes back up to tell you you're still holding that pain. We cannot get into union unless we release that pain. So all of this is just it really is just a guidance system. It's showing you exactly where you need to go, what you need to do, and what you need to heal. And it's in doing that we do get closer to union. But like, as I was kind of saying there as well, is like the closer you get, the quicker the purge, the quicker the healing. And I love this lately. Do you know what I mean? I've been going through an awful lot over the last month. We all have, with these heavy energies to do with all our past shit resurfacing and stuff. But like, we're getting stronger every time, and things are going. They're happening quicker. The healing is happening quicker. Now, this last month has been a bit fucking crazy for all of us. But like, you know, everything is getting quicker. You know, well, you know it is when you're doing that work, when you're doing that healing. Like literally, you can see something that triggers you and you can say all the things from your old mind, and then you can say, fuck off, that's not real, and let it go. And I think that's the beauty of healing. Like we're afraid to go within because we're afraid of that darkness. We're afraid of that pain. We're afraid of feeling it again. And the one thing we do have to do when we release trauma is feel it again to let it go, but not feel it again for it to linger. But this, you know, we think it's easier to bury. We think it's easier to bottle things up, but it's not. You're literally holding toxicity within your system, which is going to come out in unhealthy ways, such as anger, such as frustration, such as taking it out on other people. And health issues can come up as well if we're not in alignment with our soul, if we're not purging out that energy. And you know, I've said this before, the pain that we went through and that we're avoiding facing again, it's worse than what it is to heal it. What I mean is, we're strong enough now to face it, heal it, and release it instead of burying it. It's detrimental to our mental and physical well-being if we bury emotions, if we don't face them, if we don't release them. It's going to come out in all sorts of ways. It's going to come out in disease, on, you know, mental health issues, all that kind of stuff. So it's only in facing it that we can truly release it. This is it. We have to, like, it's like literally opening the door, getting your trauma out of the back fucking bedroom and saying, look, we need to clear out this space. Get the fuck out. As it walks past, you're literally going to go through, oh my God, this is so painful. But then it's gone. That's effectively what we're doing. But if we leave it all in the back bedroom, it's like storage, for example. If we've got storage in the back bedroom and it all piles up, this is effectively it. We're closing that fucking door. We can barely open the fucking door anyway, even if we did want to go in. And we're closing it because we're afraid of what we'll see. We're afraid that we're going to feel that shit again. But literally all you're doing now, opening that bedroom door, opening the front door and saying, come on guys, it's time to fucking leave. You might feel it, or you will feel it, as you're releasing it, but you literally get to shut the front door on that. You get to clear out that back bedroom, and you get to shut the front door after it, and it's gone. It's gone, and I love that. And obviously we're healing in layers, so every time we release, it's like, oh, hopefully it's gone. But you just have to go through another layer. Let the next guy walk out. Bye. You know, feel it and bye. Do you know? And that's exactly it. Like, so just be patient with your twin flame and yourself. Be patient with your triggers. You know what I mean? This is the journey you pre-organized with your twin flame before incarnating. Okay? So this is pre-planned. You pre-planned this. No one else. You did. Your soul organized for it to be this way. And you know, I love it now, because when you're doing it right, there's no right way to do it. It's right for you. When you surrender to the fact that if this is a part of the divine plan, that every trigger, every absence, every separation, everything is a part of the divine plan, you kind of just go, okay, this is actually good. You know, how you're reacting to the situation. If you're not chasing, if you're giving them the space, if you're giving yourself the space, you can literally say to yourself, he's not doing this because I'm unworthy or because I'm not good enough. He's doing this because it was supposed to happen. And we're giving each other that space. And you know, that space is there for a reason. It's there for us both to heal. And you know, when you get into that surrender mode and literally just go, every single thing is part of this plan. Every single thing is supposed to happen like this. Every action or non-action is supposed to happen. Every trigger is supposed to happen. Every purge is supposed to happen. Every single fucking thing is supposed to happen. And surrender to that fact, you just go, these are, and as I said, I love this. When you're in complete surrender mode and when you're not actually chasing and there is absolutely no contact, you're going to have to get your triggers from somewhere. Do you know what I mean? So they're going to come from your mind, or they're going to come from something that triggers you on social media and connected to them. It's just going to be something there. And this is a really good thing to, this is really good as well. All I'm saying is you have to be grateful for your triggers. Your triggers are getting you one step closer to purifying yourself, but also union. Inner union and external union. Do you know what I mean? Like literally every pain, every purge, every emotion we go through is making room. And you know, as I said, like the wound is so much deeper than we thought it was. The wounds are so much deeper than we thought it was. And the more we dig, the more we dig, the more we dig. And we're like, wow, this is bigger, this is bigger, this is bigger. But look at how much space you're making. That's showing you how much love is going to enter when you clear out this shit. Like, it effectively is. So like, you're like, oh, this is huge, this is huge, this is huge. Yeah. And imagine all the love that's going to come in because of your healing. The space that you're making. This is it. So please, please, please be grateful for your triggers. Be grateful for your twin flame triggering you. And be grateful for the guidance that you're getting through these triggers. That's it. Every emotion, every anger, everything that you go through is showing you that insecurity, showing you that wound from your past. And that's what it is. It's showing you a wound from the past that you need to release. And in doing so, you're making more room so that love can enter. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help in your journey, please book me for a free discovery call today, and I'd love nothing more than to help on your path. Also, I've got another channel called Aligning with Angie, where I will be sharing a guided meditation every week. The information for that is in the description box.